Welcome to East Alabama Today, featuring topics, events, and interesting people from all over East Alabama. Hosted by Carl Brady. Now, let's get right to the show. Here's Carl Brady.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into East Alabama Today. I'm Carl Brady. Thanks for joining us on our program today. First new program for East Alabama Today for in a while, so happy to be back with some fresh programming for you and some fun things to talk about here on the show today. As always, let me remind you how to get in touch with us if you have an idea for the show. We would love to hear from you, so simply send us an email at cbrady@tv24.tv. Let me know what you have going on in your community. You guys are our eyes and ears out on the street, so let me know what's going on out in the community. And you never know, you may find yourself being invited to be a guest here on East Alabama Today, or we may be talking about your special event or things that are going on that you are involved with. So do that simply by sending me an email, cbrady@tv24.tv. And remember, you can keep up with East Alabama Today online if you miss a show on the air, or if you'd like to go back and review some information, you can do that by simply going to tv24.tv, going to the on-demand section and choosing East Alabama Today. And there you can see a whole selection of recent East Alabama Today shows that you can watch at your convenience. Today we're going to be talking about the Gadsden Christmas Parade, the Gadsden Kiwanis Christmas Parade. I know it's still been 90 degrees outside for the last few weeks, but you have to think ahead. So we're going to talk about the Christmas Parade coming up here on East Alabama Today. Welcome back into East Alabama Today. Again, I'm Carl Brady. Thanks for joining us on our program. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking a little bit about Christmas. So let's welcome to the studio with us here on East Alabama Today, Dr. Glenda Selman. Glenda, welcome to the show. We
Thank
see
you
you
for having me.
at least once a year talking about Christmas Parade, but this time you are retired, Dr. Glenda Selman.
Yes.
So you've been enjoying some travel and some things like that, but now it's time to focus on the Christmas parade.
Yeah, and I'm going to wear shorts at the parade this year because it's hot. Santa's going to wear shorts too at the Christmas parade.
Yeah, if the weather continues the way it has been, we all may be wearing shorts when the parade gets here.
I don't know, it's the parade, so it's going to be very cold and wet, but whatever, it's the parade.
Well, as long as it's not wet. Cold is fine, wet's not fine for the Christmas parade.
It's the Christmas parade, so, and it'll be fun with this year. You know, it's Literary Christmas is the theme.
Literary Christmas,
so,
okay.
Your favorite Christmas story, your favorite Christmas book, Charlie Brown Christmas. We already have that float. We have some other floats, so I can't say what they are because they're in competition. But, you know, pick a book. Pick a story.
A favorite story? That's a Christmas
the Grinch.
story of something?
You
The
know,
Grinch.
you've got the Grinch.
Yeah.
I need 10 floats with the Grinch, you know, a Grinch float competition.
That probably would be me in most cases.
Yeah, you can wear your Grinch mask and, you know, televise it.
Right.
But we've got something new this year. We've got of course, we've got the Profit commercial, you know, $50 for just a vehicle, $25 for a float. But the non-commercial, we have a new thing.
Okay.
So we have a category for civic, like we've always had, $25 if you're just entry, $0 if you're a float.
So if you want to build a float and put it in the parade, and you're a nonprofit
It doesn't
or
matter.
a non-commercial,
money.
entity, you can you can do it for free, no entry fee.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But we have a category for just schools and a category for churches. So what we want is we want schools to get involved. You know, save the stuff from homecoming and save the stuff from when you buy online and you get a box and whatever, you know. And then just, you know, have a bunch of elementary schools from different areas involved. You know, high schools like, you know, 5th grade from West End, 5th grade from Sardis, 5th grade from Walhatchee, and just a competition with just the schools.
Right.
And then we want floats for churches.
Yeah.
So, you know, and we had this one time, we had a bunch of churches in the parade, and they were in competition, like we had the Baptist Church, the Methodist Church, and all of this. So we want the churches to get involved. Old-fashioned Christmas floats.
Yeah.
So, you know, your toilet paper, your paper towels, just, we don't need floats that cost $5,000. We want
It doesn't have to be a Rose Parade float.
No, I don't want a Rose Parade float anyway, but it's just old-fashioned. Get the kids involved. Have a Sunday school class do a float. Have them come up with their favorite Christmas story and do a float. That's what we want to revitalize the old family Christmas. And I think that would be fun,
Well, and we've talked about this the last couple of years, and the reason we're making these changes, the reason that it's free to put a float in for non-commercial groups is to encourage floats. There's nothing more boring than a parade full of cars that are decorated. The windows are rolled up and the heater's on. You don't even know who's in the car. And it's just cars driving down the street, and it really is a boring parade. So you want music, you want the lights, you want the pageantry of a parade and the celebration of Christmas. So trying to encourage people to get back to doing that.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And the thing is, it's fun for the kids. I've had people say, oh, I've enjoyed the parade since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Well, fine, put a float in it, and just give that kind of excitement to your children and grandchildren.
Right.
So it's something to carry on, and it should be a great parade because there are a lot of Christmas stories out there. So other than we'll have a bunch of Grinches, but think about all the different stories. Now, you can have a novel that has a scene about Christmas in it.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas story.
It's literary.
Right? It's literary. So come up with something different, something unique. And of course, we have cash prizes. Now,
nice.
So, the entry fees it's not a fundraiser. The entry fees go back to cash prizes for the entries because this is a community service project done by Kiwanis. We do service. Now, excuse me, it's sinus time. It's the fall. We have also a new entry, and it's for past winners. So if you're a past float winner from the last 3 years, we have a separate category for you, and it's an invitation only. So I sent out letters to the past entries, and I said, you are included in this entry. And they're going to have a bigger cash prize. So they're going to get first and second place. So we have past entries going against past entries.
And there's an advantage to that because it encourages other people to get into the normal categories because you do see that the winners tend to be sometimes extravagant and expensive. One of the bigger companies or a bigger hospital or something like that that has some cash that they can put into building an extravagant float, and then somebody else comes along and says, well, I'm just a little community organization, I can't compete with that, so they don't even try. So if you put those people in a separate category, then gives everybody else a chance to win some too.
Yeah, and the thing is that if you're a past winner, you get in. And then next year, you'll get it again. So it's one of these cases where, your church and my church, we've won in the past 3 years. We're going up against each other, but we're also going up against the public library and this little boys club group. And it's like, okay, now we've all got to up our game. And it makes it more exciting, So we're trying that this year to see if we can get more schools, churches, and just groups of people.
Right.
Just your community. You have, you live on, Center Avenue. So Center Avenue needs to have a float in it. Get all the little kids together.
Get your neighborhood together. Have a neighborhood float or something like that.
Yeah, and we've had that one time. And they had an awesome float in the parade. So the new categories, the fun theme, come up with something unique. Not everybody reads the same Christmas stories.
Right.
You may have a Christmas story from a long time ago that you could come in. Not necessarily the new Christmas stories, but it should be fun.
It should be. Now you mentioned you threw out the school name Ohatchee, so it's worth it to mention the Gadsden Christmas Parade has always been so big. It's not just a Gadsden Christmas parade.
Right.
It's in northeast Alabama. North Alabama Christmas Parade. It's a big event that people come from outside of Gadsden to participate in and to watch and to be a part of. So, if you're watching and you're outside of the Gadsden area, don't think this is not about you as well, because if you're in Calhoun County and any of our surrounding counties, then you can participate in the Gadsden Christmas Parade.
You're in Georgia.
Yeah,
a long time ago, we had a float from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
They came down the interstate. It was interesting. But Ohatchee Band is in the parade.
They're always in the parade.
They're in the parade. So, and they're near the front so they can get back home to Ohatchee to prepare for a Tuesday morning,
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, we would love people from Anniston. We've had Anniston people come in the parade and everything. So, yeah, it's not just Gadsden. It's a parade.
Absolutely. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet is the date of the parade, and that is on Monday, December the 5th. Monday, December the 5th. Parade will roll at 6 o'clock, Broad Street, downtown Gadsden, and with a lineup. The lineup takes place up at the courthouse, and then it works its way toward the river, from the courthouse toward the river. So that's the plan for that, as always. Again, December the 5th on a Monday, and we need to take a commercial break here and do that. We'll come back and we'll talk more about the Gadsden Christmas Parade and see if we can get a huge number of people involved with the parade again this year, as always. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back into East Alabama Today. Our guest is Dr. Glenda Selman, and again, the chairperson of the Gadsden Kiwanis Christmas Parade. December the 5th in Gadsden, along Broad Street in Gadsden. That's a Monday, as always, the traditional time for the Gadsden Christmas Parade. And let's talk about the Kiwanis Club involvement in this a little bit. This is a major effort by a community organization to really do something nice for the community. By the time you normally have 120, 150 entries in the parade, you got to line those people up. You got to get all those kids and band members where they're supposed to be, and it takes a huge group effort of your Kiwanis Club members who volunteer their time not to watch the parade with their families, but to be up at the start of the parade and help get everything organized. And all these years, I know we've always laughed about all these years you've been organizing the parade. You've never seen a parade until you get to go watch it on TV a little bit later, because you're up there. You see the start of it. You're getting everybody started, but you don't get to be down in the crowd and watch the parade as the parade goes by. No. And you're the last thing that comes along as we finish up the parade coverage, as Santa goes through and everybody goes through, and then here you come walking down the road to talk to us on TV
with the winners,
with the winner list and those kind of things.
Yeah.
But it takes a huge effort by the Kiwanis organization to put this together.
Yeah. And the thing is, they're all people that volunteer their time. They've got families. I know my daughter, actually, when she was 4 years old, was helping you put stamps on letters. She thought that was cool. She got to actually do stuff. But they're all volunteers. They're doing this because it's a tradition, and we've talked about this before. We don't know when it started.
Yeah.
We know it started before World War I. It stopped 1 year during a war, and it's something the Kiwanis took over, and it is a lot of effort, a lot of work, but they took over to keep the tradition alive, and it's a service project. And it's something to give back to the community. It's just something people like to do. And I know there are families that have actually had their kids help with the parade. And we have Key Clubbers and Circle Kers that also help with the parade. The high school, and we have an Action Club float in the parade. And hopefully they'll win this year, maybe, sort of. But we've had middle school kids, Builders Club kids, actually help with the parade, and they just give out things. So it's not just the Kiwanis adults, it's the sponsored programs. So think of all of the fun times they had. You're sitting there, and you just get to have fun with everybody. Yeah. And tell people where to go, which is fun too,
Right.
And it's just, while you're lining them up, you get to talk to other TV, radio stations, and talk to the people in the buggies, talk to military people that have been in the parade in the past. You know, just sit there and communicate and say, hey, thank you for this. This is so much fun. It's not just, it's a lot of work, but it's also fun to talk to people.
Right.
And just see what goes on behind a parade. And a lot of people say that's more fun. And then you watch it as it starts going by, and then you don't have to sit there with all the people and go, oh, okay, that's fine. It's like, yeah, I lined you up. I saw you. You better behave. You know, it's that kind of thing that's fun to do.
Right.
And of course, then you have Santa coming by in a carriage. And this year, his wife may take a break from helping the elves. So Santa may have his wife with him this year.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, you know, so you got the elves helping. Santa took a break with the elves and all of this. So if his wife is there, she may just have to keep him nice and not be naughty, Santa, and have him nice and have him talk to you nicely after the parade is over. So this year we're checking with her, and we've written some letters to the North Pole to see if his wife would like to just take a break and come ride with him.
That would be awesome. You know, Santa and I have become such good friends over the years that, you know, when he stops to talk to us on TV, he usually has a jab or two or something, you know, revealing some of my secrets or something about whether I've been naughty or not. I'm like, Santa, you know, we're on TV. Keep these things to yourself, you know.
We have to let everybody know about you, you know. And I've known you for a long time too, Carl.
Yeah,
so yes,
yeah.
we will move on, right?
Exactly.
But it's a fun thing for the Kiwanis to do. They do a lot of other projects, but this is just something that needs to be done for the city, for the county, and also for people in North Alabama.
You know, and it really kicks off the Christmas season. The holiday season it feels different anyway, or it should feel different, and it's a good way to put all the politics and things like that aside, and everybody just have a community event that we can all come together and enjoy and smile and have a good time and see the kids laughing and having a good time with it. And speaking of politics, that's something that, you know, we always note that on an election year like this, people get so caught up in the election that they kind of forget that there's a Christmas parade coming up, and we want to remind people that the parade is coming up. You still need to get your entries turned in and your paperwork turned in, even though the election is getting closer, and you may actually be watching this post-election, but the time is now to go ahead and get those entries turned in. You have a deadline set for November 21st because you have to have time to do the lineup and all of those things.
Yeah, we do the lineup, and then we have to send the letters out with the lineup and post the letters and all this. So yeah, the deadline is the 21st, and of course, every 4 years, people go, oh, I forgot. And it's like, please don't forget this year, because it's hard to do the lineup over Thanksgiving. You know, Kiwanis do have a Thanksgiving break from their work and everything. So it's hard to do that. And I know a lot of people, a lot of schools have just put it on their desk, and things pile up, Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So yeah, we want it now, you know, post it on a little note, put a sticky note someplace, and contact us. Let us get you an entry form if you don't have one. Now we send out the letters to everybody from last year, so they've got them.
So everybody who was in the parade last year has one of these letters like this.
And the entry form.
And the entry form already in your possession. I know it's unusual to actually, people like, what is this, a paper letter? I've not gotten a paper letter in such a long time. I don't know what to do with it. But it's a paper letter that actually came in your mail. But you can, if you didn't get the letter, you didn't get the entry form, or you're a new organization, a new group, you haven't been in the parade recently, and you would like to get an entry form, then there's a phone number they can call.
Yes. We've got a new phone number. It's area code 256, obviously. It's 295-3441. And the old phone number was my office. I'm retired. So no.
So it'll go to somebody else now.
It'll go to someone else, and they'll just hang up on you, and they don't care. So you call this. It's a flip phone. and leave a voicemail if we don't answer. And people have left voicemails, and I call them back and leave a message, and then they call me back because we're playing phone tag. A good way is to leave a distinct name, email, or address.
Yeah.
And that way I can send it to you through email, or I can actually send it through snail mail, an actual physical letter, an entry form.
Right, right.
So, and speak distinctly, because, you know, obviously with the flip phones, it's just that.
Make sure you can just make sure people can understand
Yes.
you when you leave a message. Now you can also go to the Gadsden Kiwanis website, Gadsden Kiwanis, it's either .org or .com, and it's been on the graphic that we've been showing you there. .org is the correct, GadsdenKiwanis.org. Go to the forms section there, and the letter
And the letter is there.
The letter is there,
but not the entry form, because you know, we do need to send out the entry forms to people, and that way we have a record that we send out the entry. If we don't get it back, you know, in the past
Know who
we've
to
called and
contact,
say,
yeah.
hey, are you okay? You know, are we getting it? Now, we have an email, Gadsden email. So you can also email us, and it's Gadsden Kiwanis. So it's GADSDENKIWANIS
at Gmail.
at gmail.com. You don't have to have capitals.
Yeah.
So if you send that, we can then send you the first letter and the entry form. And if you are a nonprofit float, you just fill it out, scan it, and send it back.
Yeah,
And it's easy.
Absolutely, it's absolutely free.
So, you know, and so that way you can print it, and it's obviously Word documents, and so you can print it out and, you know, fill it out and all of this. So a lot of people have done emails because they don't like actual letters, and they take a little while and all this.
Right, right.
I have had people send that back and then literally send the money in an envelope.
Yeah,
You know, that way we get the money, but you send it back just to make sure. So, you know, that's a good way to get in touch with us. And, you know, the phone and the Gmail account, they're Kiwanis.
Yeah.
They're not just the Christmas parade, and they're not mine, it's Kiwanis. So if you have other questions about Pancake Day, you know, which is coming up, you can, you know, email that account, or, you know, call the Kiwanis phone number. So for the parade, that's a good way to get in touch with us.
That's the best way to do it. So let's take a break right now. We'll be back in a moment with a few final wrap-up details. Well, our final segment of East Alabama today, we've been talking about the Gadsden Kiwanis Christmas Parade. Again, it is coming up on Monday, December the 5th in downtown Gadsden, along Broad Street in downtown Gadsden. And that is a 6 p.m. Start time. So all of the details are there on your screen right now. For the cost of entering a float for commercial, it is $50 for a non-float entry, $25 for a float. For non-commercial, $25 for a non-float entry, or free for a float entry. Remember, we want to encourage everyone to do the floats and to really make this a nice Christmas parade for everyone involved. And Literary Christmas is your theme. You can stay along the lines of that theme with your favorite Christmas book or Christmas story, and you'll be great right in the middle of all that there. And again, the contact information, the phone number to call, 256-295-3441. Leave your name and address, or an email address and a phone number, and speak clearly so everybody can understand you. And remember, GadsdenKiwanis@gmail.com is the email address, or if you simply want to go to GadsdenKiwanis.org and to the website, click on the forms section to get the information on the Christmas parade there. And Glenda, great to have you back with us on the program again today, and thank you for all the work you do putting this parade together for so many years.
Allowing me to come talk for a little while.
Absolutely, and again, it will be aired, the parade will be filmed and aired here on TV 24 throughout the Christmas season, as we do every year. So we'll have that coming up for you throughout the month of December during the Christmas season. Thanks for joining us on East Alabama Today. We'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.